Regional administrators, distinguished delegates, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, sinivusele nonke bekunene. Your Excellency, we take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to you and your distinguished delegation to our kingdom. Please feel at home. We are highly privileged to host you in Eswatini for this state visit that signifies the strong relations that happily exist between the two countries and our people. Your Excellency, we wish to congratulate you on being elected the 7th President of the Republic of Zambia. Thank you for finding time so soon after your inauguration to visit the people of Eswatini. This demonstrates your commitment to renewing the ties that bind us as people. It is this trait, among many others, for which your people have placed their faith and high level of trust in your very capable hands to steer the nation of Zambia in her pursuit of its national vision and development agenda. We have no doubt that with your acumen from previous positions and roles, which I have personally experienced in our engagements, you will propel your country to greater heights. As a man of God, the Almighty will give you wisdom to lead the Zambian nation towards peace and prosperity for all. You are now the father of all Zambians, irrespective of their gender, religious affiliations, rich and poor, to mention but a few. We applaud your nation for the peaceful election and transition of power. We wish to assure you of our unwavering support as a friend and close bilateral partner of the Zambian people. This visit signifies the good foundation laid by our predecessors. Our two nations have a lot in common, and as leaders, we have a huge task to nurture and protect these relations for many more years to come. This state visit has afforded us the opportunity to share ideas and experiences in the pursuit of our mutual goals as members of SADC, AU, Commonwealth, the United Nations, as well as multilateral organizations. It has culminated in the signing of agreements that seek to promote cooperation between our two countries. We have signed a memorandum of understanding on tourism cooperation with our new airline. We hope will facilitate easy travel for tourists between the two countries. A memorandum of understanding on the establishment of a comprehensive consultation mechanism, a communique which outlines the outcomes of your state visit. We further encourage our two governments to work on establishing an MOU on trade and investment, as well as in information communication and technology, which is a 21st century vehicle for economic growth. Your Excellency, like many other countries of the world, we both have recently experienced the impact of COVID COVID-19 pandemic, which reversed several gains that were made in our national development programs. It has caused suffering to many of our people and depressed our national budgets. It is unfortunate that COVID came at a time when Africa had just launched the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is ideal for all of us, and we stand to benefit from it. While we're looking at COVID subsiding, with many people all over the world being vaccinated, we are now confronted by conflicts that have resulted in loss of life, property, and high commodity prices. Such impact make it important for all countries to avoid conflict situations. We need to embrace the spirit of cooperation, tolerance, brotherhood, and a united continent in order to achieve our AU Vision 2063. Climate change is also proving to be a serious impediment to our progress. We are now focused on rebuilding our economies and getting our sustainable development programs back on track. Your Excellency, you arrive in the country to find us engaged in a process of reviewing our National Vision 2022 aspirations, which now require the setting of new target dates for attaining a desired first world status for Eswatini. We are more than determined to provide our people with access to quality services, create wealth and employment opportunities, to mention but a few. Our kingdom offers numerous opportunities that hold the capacity to transform our economy, mainly in agribusiness, mining, energy, tourism, and ICT, among other priorities. We invite Zambian business people to explore these opportunities. In creating a capable workforce, concerted efforts are being made to modernize our education sector, taking into consideration the benefits and the challenges that have come with the fourth industrial revolution. Mr. President, as you may well be aware, the kingdom is home to many Zambian nationals with whom we have enjoyed cordial relations. They have played an integral part in several sectors of our society, particularly in education and business, as well as some who have become our in-laws. We are also grateful that Zambia has welcomed a number of our people who pursue various interests in your country. These relations have further strengthened trade between our two countries, which amplifies the need for the removal of barriers to encourage the free movement of our peoples and goods in the region. As leaders, we have a responsibility to enhance this objective by creating a conducive environment for trade and investment to prosper our people. Closer collaboration will grow our economies faster, acquire more tangible peace and security for a more conducive development climate, providing health for all, access to clean water, and an affordable energy supply, among other benefits. Your Excellency, Mswati are in peace. Mswati are a peace-loving nation, and we are bonded in traditions and customs. This defines who we are as a nation. We believe in dialogue and solving differences in an amicable way without any confrontation. This has been our greatest pillar of nationhood since time immemorial. Meaningful dialogue can only be achieved under an atmosphere of peace. Therefore, as nations of the world, we need to strive for peace at all times. Your Excellency, the greater effect of attaining the aspirations contained in the national visions of the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Zambia is the growth and development of our region as members of SADC. One of the objectives of SADC is regional integration. We need to support each other rather than to compete amongst ourselves. The founding fathers of our organizations envisaged that in order for our region to realize vibrant economic development, we need to promote peace and stability in the SADC region. Let us therefore follow in the footsteps of our forefathers in achieving their aspirations and dreams by turning them into meaningful actions. Your Excellency, we once again thank you for your visit, and we hope you have enjoyed the program that we had prepared for you, which gave a brief insight into some of the activities in the kingdom. We do hope you also enjoy our hospitality. We further extend our appreciation for the gift of cows presented to us by His Excellency the President. As Africans, we know the value of cows. They are what makes a man, and this is why I will forever cherish this gift. Mr. President, we are honored that you have chosen your visit to coincide with a special day in your life, your birthday. We take this opportunity to wish you long life and ask that God to bless you with the wisdom to lead your great nation. May we all join the Zambian nation in wishing the President a happy birthday. Finally, may everyone join me in charging their glasses and propose a toast to long and healthy life of His Excellency, the President, for the continued prosperity of the government and the people of the Republic of Zambia, and also for the warm and cordial relations that happily exist between our two countries to grow from strength to strength.
The President. Thank you very much, Your Majesty, for the very comprehensive and insightful remarks and words of welcoming. Your Excellency, President Hichilema, or as the King calls you, Triple H, once again, we take the opportunity to welcome you here. We feel honored and humbled by the fact that amongst the very few countries you have chosen to visit so early, immediately after your inauguration, you have chosen the Kingdom of Eswatini. We are humbled by that gesture. Your Excellency, may I at this juncture request that you come and address the nation. Your Excellency, please. We know about it. We don't go sit down.
Thank you very much. You may take your seats, please. Thank you very much. May I recognize the presence of His Majesty, King Mswati III, our leader, and not just in this country, the Eswatini Kingdom, but also in our region and on our continent, and of course globally. I wish to recognize, obviously, she may not be here tonight, but the Queen Mother, who was gracious to give me so much time, to give my delegation and I so much time this afternoon. We enjoyed the visit to her home. Thank you, ma'am. The Royal Highnesses that are here, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, indeed, the Royal Councillors, Chiefs, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers from the Eswatini Kingdom, and my own colleagues, cabinet colleagues from Zambia, and the rest of the Zambian delegation. Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, presiding officers, and members of both Houses of Parliament in this kingdom, regional administrators, distinguished guests, I wish to also recognize the media, who play a pivotal role in making sure that citizens of this country, our own citizens back home, and the rest of the world become aware of what we're doing tonight, what we've been doing in the past few days. Shall I just say, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed my honor to stand before you today to express our gratitude for the warm welcome that we have enjoyed since we landed in this kingdom. It is truly a reflection of the Eswatini people, Mswati. Brotherly, sisterly, friendly, to a point where yesterday, and I hope it won't happen, Your Majesty, today, you overfed us yesterday. So, so thank you for your generosity. As I said, your hospitality signifies, amongst many aspects, the strong bond of friendship that our two countries have enjoyed over years, over many years. A path walked by the leaders before us, before you, your own father, Your Majesty, King Sobhuza, and our founding president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. We used to call him KK. They paved the way for us, and Your Majesty, we intend to build on this path, not just elongate it, but broaden it as well, so many more of our people can walk on it as we move forward. We're grateful for the engagements that we've had since we came. Following our arrival, my team and I have had many meetings, and His Majesty has been gracious enough to allow us time between him and myself, our two cabinets, of course led by the Prime Minister. Sometimes we've sort of pushed them against the wall. Last night we told them they needed to finish certain agreements, conclude them. And we're pleased that they were able to burn the midnight candles. And today we were able to sign a couple of memoranda of understanding. Thank you, Your Majesty, for your time and the time of your colleagues. By it. When I'm going out. By it. Thank you. Your Majesty, Through this visit, we celebrate our enduring friendship, which has allowed our two countries to coexist as friends, as partners, equal partners. And that's important in relationships. The visit also signifies our intentions. For us, as a government, as a new government, Your Excellency, Your Majesty, beg your pardon, signifies this visit, in addition to our alumni, signifies our clear intent to focus, to build on these old ties, to drive them more in the direction of trade, investment. Not competing, as you said, but complementing each other. And to work together in this area of trade and investment, first, as the initial step, before we seek investment, trade with Europe, with America, with China. We'll be stronger by first working together, and I agree with you, Your Majesty, as we meet other colleagues in this, our global village. And I said it when we had a meeting with the President of Congo, which culminated in the signing of the MOU, that we threaten nobody. Our cooperation between the Kingdom of Eswatini and Zambia and other African countries in this region, we threaten nobody. We will just make it easier for us to work with you in Europe and elsewhere, China, indeed, Asia. I think this is important, that a more organized African continent, a more intentional African continent will be of better value, not just to the peoples, our own peoples, our citizens, but to our partners in other parts of the world. We believe in that. Your Majesty, let me step aside a little bit and express our sincere gratitude to His Majesty. Most of the Eswatini people were not aware that in our difficult times, we in Zambia, in our difficult days, we had to invoke the involvement of His Majesty here to help us return our country to normalcy. He did it behind the scenes as a true king. He did it behind the scenes. I don't think any of the Mswatis knew what he was doing, helping stabilize Zambia towards our last elections. It was a very difficult time. But he was able to reach out to my predecessor in his own way. He was able to reach out to me without the public being aware, because sometimes the public had unnecessary pressure to get things done. Of course, Your Majesty, thank you for that. Together with leaders in our region, SADC, and other leaders in other parts of the world. Zambian citizens, Zambian people do appreciate that. And we are indebted to you. And today we can express it publicly. We are indebted to the Eswatini people for your support through the Majesty. This is the way Africa must be. We must take responsibility for our own challenges before we ask for help from outside. We must take responsibility to restore normalcy in each of our countries. And I want to repeat what I've said before at my inaugural meeting of the AU in Addis Ababa. In a way, I didn't use this word, but I'll use it here. We don't like the smell of instability on our continent. We don't like the identity, the definition that Africa is where you find trouble. No. We should redefine how we are seen. First, how we see ourselves. We want to restore stability in each of our countries. And then, as we know, instability anywhere has the potential to cause instability everywhere. We've seen it. Of late, we've seen a situation that wasn't expected, that in the heart of Europe, we could have a Ukraine situation. And I used to say to friends that I worked with in business, in my business days, for my sins of the past, that I don't like your description of Africa, because trouble can emanate from anywhere. So I reminded my fellow friends, old friends, some of them schoolmates in our days in Europe, in school, postgraduate days, said, don't point a finger at us. Work with us to resolve the challenges of Africa. Tomorrow it will be you. So just last week, I phoned one of the colleagues. I said, you see what's happening in Europe now. So should I point a finger at you, or we should work together to resolve that situation, whatever little contribution we can make? So really, what His Majesty said, I agree, we agree, by and large. But we can only foster development. We can only create jobs for our people. We can only expand our economies, business opportunities, and fight poverty in an environment of peace and stability. I think peace and stability is a prerequisite to economic advancement for all our countries. And it is something that we must all be engaged. So, Your Majesty, once more, thank you. Please continue along those lines. And now that I'm in this situation, before I used to come hiding and making sure that I use the longest connections to come here in case he got discovered that I met with him, because then that would be trouble when I went back home. But now we're in this situation where we can come openly, have such a visitation, and our hands are available to give you more support as you seek peace in this region. Countrymen that live in this country, men and women, citizens of Zambia, you have been welcomed in this country. You're working with the Mswati people. Be of good character. Be of good character. Be of positive contribution to this society. No, Majesty says in the educational system, Zambians are here, other areas. And true, Your Majesty, the genetic material between our two peoples is ever increasing. I'm sure some missed the joke. I am saying the family bonds between the Mswatis and Zambians are increasing. More young people are marrying each other. It means they've understood, they accept that they share common values. And this should be encouraged. And I say to colleagues back home, the more we interact, the more we are inclusive, the higher the chances that distortions, instability, extremism in our country will come to the barest minimum. So it goes for relationships across countries. So Your Majesty, thank you for allowing us to marry from here. Quiet. Thank you very much. Your Majesty, you talked about the gift of cows. I thought that was our secret. And we chose to do that when it was dark already. So, but His Majesty has exposed me. But I want to retort by appreciating the gifts, generous gifts that we have received from His Majesty and the people of Eswatini. You won't believe it, our visit to the Queen Mother, we came out with so much weight because of the gifts that she gave us. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have said it all, Your Majesty, that now that we've renewed this cooperation, in the 70s, I was checking my records, in the 70s, our leaders then had signed some MOUs. But these were allowed to rot in some shelf somewhere. What we're renewing must not gather dust. Cabinet here, Kingdom of Eswatini, cabinet in Zambia, public servants, officers in the two countries, together with us, it's our duty to make sure that we action what we have executed today. And we know the value of that. We understand the value of that. We want to see transactions, more transactions. I won't give the details. 2 weeks ago, we gave out a contract in our country to buy something to another country in the region. And a week later, as I was talking to one of my friends, Your Majesty, in this country, so he says, HH, you bought those items? I said, yeah, because we're expanding. We're expanding. We want to drive, because if I say more, you know what I'm talking about. So I said, but you bought from there, that country? I said, yes. I said, but that country ordered that item from us here in Eswatini. What we've done today, Your Majesty, allows us to trade directly, within the protocols, of course. And we want to grow this balance of trade. We just need to be a bit more conscious. Our operatives, our officers, checklisting what this country needs, what Zambia needs, and then get on with it. To create jobs here, to create jobs in Zambia. Your Majesty, back home, I argue with citizens. I've been arguing with citizens for years. There's a perception on our continent that we can look after the sick, the weak, the young, the differently abled, the old, without economic success. It's not possible. Someone has to teach me a formula that you can share poverty. Never understood that you can share poverty. So our economic success between the two countries, through the documentation we've signed today, is so critical to looking after the vulnerable in our two countries. That's the logic. It's the only way. So we would like to work on that aspect, two cabinets and other staff. Grow the list of what we've done today. There's more joint investments. Your Majesty, this afternoon I went to a place where clearly to help manage and ameliorate the climate change challenge that we have to use less of wood, cutting down trees when we can, when we have alternatives. I produce beef in Zambia. I'm just a small beef producer. But we fence And in our fencing lines, we're cutting timber. Yet we need to preserve the trees so they can suck the carbon dioxide. But we need to fence. What I saw today, alternative to timber for fencing, for ranching, for other things, concrete poles. More durable, will never be eaten by ants, but yet they'll help us preserve our environment and control the temperature increase in our countries, on our continent. Wonderful. Your Excellency, Your Excellencies, Your Majesty, I don't want to continue with this line, but simply close by thanking you for the wonderful message that you delivered. And we take that message as our own. We share in that message. And at this stage, Your Majesty, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct honor to invite you all to join me in proposing a toast. That's my drink there. Oh, it's here. Oh, great. You are handy. To the continued personal good health of His Majesty King Mswati III, to the continued personal good health of Her Majesty the Queen Mother, Ndrovkas, to increased and strengthened cooperation between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Zambia, to the continued excellent relations between the people of Eswatini, Eswatini Kingdom, and the Republic of Zambia. Cheers. I haven't seen your glasses. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you very much. I thank you for your kind attention. Siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you. Thank you.
Bayithe wena phakathi. Your Majesty, we continue with our program. Food is served. As we done, Your Majesty, Your Excellency, will be listening to our local artists rendering some soothing music as we enjoy our food. We have Lomkhosi Makubu, we have Sivutse, we have Bolocha, we have Fagazi, and the culture troops. Your Majesty, Your Excellency, let's enjoy. Bayithe wenwa phakathi.
Secretary, what is